video. I found out the other day that one of my old training partners passed away from a long spell of illness. I spoke to the person probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago on messaging. We've had a bit of back and forth, and at the same time it was quite strange because I was digging out some old photographs just by tidying things up, and brought back a lot of memories. And then I had a lot of memories at the weekend, obviously since his passing. And it does make you kind of think about your journey, you know, not just in martial arts but in life as well, I guess. And you have, you know, the best friends at certain points, then you might drift apart. And, you know, there's not necessarily hard feelings there. You know, sometimes obviously you have a difference of opinion, or people fall out with each other, but sometimes people just drift apart, they have different interests. You know, for example, I've had a few like training partners, Kung Fu brothers, who've decided to leave the systems that I study and then go and train with a different teacher. Whether that was, you know, that happened in Wing Chun, it happened in Praying Mantis. A lot of the times, especially in martial arts, you know, you want more, or you want something different from the teaching, and people end up going different paths. This is fine, you know, it's everyone's only got one life, and you've got to kind of make the most of it and go after what you are trying to achieve. And sometimes with training partners, because you don't have the same teacher, you don't go to the same school, you don't follow the same syllabus, then you kind of drift apart. And it's really sad, it's really unfortunate, but these things do happen. But I really appreciate all the training partners I've had. Some have passed away, some went on different aspects of training, lifestyle, whatever. The same goes for students as well. I've had some great students. Some very talented students who either gave up martial arts or moved to a different part of the world. You know, there's been lots of dedicated students who again moved on to different martial arts systems, or given up because of family and different commitments. So, you know, I appreciate training partners, teachers, students, and as you get older you kind of do appreciate that more. When you're younger, you know, you're a little bit invincible, and as you get older and wiser, hopefully you kind of can make better decisions. But yeah, so it brings back a lot of memories when these unfortunate things happen, when people pass away, or you fall out with someone, or you don't see them for a long period of time. And, you know, I think that's a good thing. It's a positive thing to remember the good times, remember, you know, the people that helped you get where you are. So some students might come up with a fantastic drill that you'd never thought of, and then from that point on, that's part of your teaching. You know, you teach that application, that drill, that idea, which is great, you know. And the same with you know, your training partners and different people. You get inspiration from lots of sources. So I guess in essence, just appreciate things in the moment. Appreciate your training partners, appreciate your teachers, because tomorrow they might not be around. And trying to be amicable, you know. So if you just want to go separate ways, then that's fine. You know, I'm going to try and have a Zoom session with an old Kung Fu brother soon, who I haven't spoke to really, apart from the odd message back and forth, for a few years. But I think in the current climate, hooking up on Zoom and just having a good old natter about training and what people are doing is a good thing. And if we can do that and try and not be silly with, you know, well, you know, you disrespected my teacher, or you're the enemy of our lineage and things like that. I mean, you know, martial artists are quite a small group in the world. You know, I don't know what the percentages are, but you're probably talking 1% or less of the people do martial arts. For that reason, people should try and band together. People should try and appreciate the similarities rather than the differences. You know, one thing I was thinking about recently was in my local area in the northeast, trying to get a kung fu kind of association or something like that together. Not necessarily, not with fees involved or anything like that. Just a hook up, you know, once a month, once a year, once a quarter, whatever, where traditional kung fu people maybe get together, have some food, and discuss things. I recently had a conversation with another kung fu practitioner, another kung fu teacher, about working together on some sandar and some competition ideas to try and push up, because in England most of the competitions, seminars, even the schools and teachers are in the south of the country, so you have to go kind of towards Birmingham and south really of Birmingham and that to hit the majority of the competitions and the larger kung fu schools. So getting something like a competition or even just some cross training between styles would be a really valuable thing up in the northeast. So there's lots of things we can do. It's a strange thing as well with martial arts, and especially kung fu, probably in the West. So when I was training back in the 80s, when I started training back in the 80s, I guess kung fu was still relatively new, if that's the right way to put it. So if you think the 60s, maybe the 70s, the big boom in the 70s, slightly booming 80s, with the ninja craze and all that, and Jackie Chan and various other aspects like Jet Li. So you had the kind of quite an early kind of hobby, an early age of kung fu in England and the West. But now, you know, 30 odd years later, you know, we've had kung fu in the UK for 50 years, 50 to 60 years, and it's matured a little bit. So when you look at the teachers today, especially like my teacher who's been doing stuff since the 60s, you know, and teachers of his age, then it's not how it was. We're a much more mature group, and for that reason we should be making our own traditions now. So traditions are fine, they're good as long as they have their place, but unfortunately a lot of martial arts traditions, Japanese, Filipino, Chinese, they're kind of tied to the culture they come from, and some of those things are good, you know, so like respect obviously is a good thing, but then that kind of blind obedience, maybe that's not such a good thing. So just giving you an example there, but anyway, so I think personally, because of the maturity of martial arts and kung fu in the West, then we should be making our own traditions, and I think hopefully the generations coming through now will try and act wisely, try not to be doing things in haste, but act wisely and set things down for the future. And hopefully I can work with fellow kung fu practitioners, whether that's some sandar training, whether that's, you know, a forms competition, whether that's, you know, trying to promote lion dancing, and hopefully we can keep some of the good traditions alive. And it's even more important that we do that, especially when the old guard are passing away, and you know, people even younger than me are passing away. We'll lose some good martial artists, some good kung fu people. So let's just hope the future's bright. Just say this as for all the Kung Fu brothers that I lost. I've lost two of three of us. There was three of us used to kick around, train and travel together, and two of those have passed away, and both younger than me, unfortunately. My teachers are getting old, so you know I do worry about those as well. And I have a few students who have got health problems and are getting older as well. So make the most of every day. Be loyal, be honest, try and act in good spirit, and think about how we can develop Kung Fu for the future.